I worked at Faribault for about 10 years and then came up here in 1960. And I came from the largest hospital institution. We had 2,250 patients at Faribault. I moved up here to the newest one. There was only one building when I came here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't. Well, when I started there, actually I started in 1950 under Governor Youngdahl, and was one of the first ones that were hired as a recreation therapist that went around to the different state hospitals. And they're the best residents, as they call patients then. First they would call, the last one were residents, and then patients, and then they started out as called inmates. And the best ward was judge, where everybody was quiet and in place on that bench around the wall. And our job was to keep them quiet, keep them fed, keep them quiet. And so we would go in and put all the benches in the middle of the room and get them up to march. Boy, that was unheard of.
It was pretty frustrating for you to...
Well, it was for everybody, I guess.
Yeah, for them as well.
Also for the residents.
Sure. What do you think the patients or the people you work with, what do they drive from that kind of physical activity and the outdoor recreation chances?
Well, you know, there's something about nature that touches everybody.
Do you agree with the philosophy to get them out of the larger institutions and into residential settings,
Yep,
though?
yep.
You do? Okay.
It works out very well, and you work along with them. We have everything. Program staff is fantastic. Does a great job with the various groups.
But that's a way that you saved money over the years, is making sure the family was involved.
Yeah, because the major cost is the cost of your consulate.
Sure.
Three major costs: your consulate, your food service, and your nursing service. So they bring their own food and they know what their medical needs are, their staff. So they handle them there. Well, we had groups from the state hospital that came out at the outset. Most of the groups were from there. But we expanded it to include foster homes and parent groups. And it has developed from there to what it is now. We say we don't charge any fees, and I think when we started, we were the only one that ran year-round and free of charge. You
must have been a master at, because there's a bureaucracy to the military too, and getting authorization and devote their time. You must have had to go through and twist some arms to get them to do that too.
There was a master of the thing.
You had an ally.
I was over there in the office that day when you called over. You called for Gil Harris.
Yeah.
Remember Gil, of course.
Yeah.
And it was, yep, okay, good. I'll talk about it. He hung up and he looked up and he said, "That was Dick Endres. He wants a bridge." I said, "He what?" That was funny.
Yeah, but we had some outstanding ones like Bronco Degurski. Was their second year. Humphrey was our first year, and then Bronco, and then our third year was Johnny Mariucci, and that came about. John was a fill-in, you might say. We had scheduled George Mikan as our third year, and we went down. We had a nice picture at the front page of George and Shep Lundberg and I. But about a week after we talked to Mike, he gave me a call. He said, "I've got something that came up. I got a tour. I got to come down. I'm sorry I can't make it," which was the best choice we ever got. Because then we got Johnny Mariucci Olson, of course, who was taken over as the executive director. He's been with us for 25 years about and doing a fantastic job. And he's been a real blessing for the camp. He's taken over, and I have no qualms at all about turning the reign over to Jeff.
And now you, with your illness, you kind of reached the point where you decided your wife has passed on, and your kids are all grown, and you just.
Well, I don't know. Are your kids growing?
We're still growing, Dad. We're still growing. Still learning.
Did you and your wife talk about what your decision might be after if she were to pass away?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Did you ever, when you first started and you came upon that site and you maybe had some plans, but did you ever think it would be this big?
People have asked me that, Mike, and I said yes. I always felt the camp could grow to this point because I felt very strongly that the good Lord would not let us fail.